everyone, my name is Joanna, and today I wanted to do a video and give some strategies on how you can protect yourself energetically. The reason being is when we interact with other people, we generally have an exchange of energy. Most people are aware of this on some level, and probably have had both positive and negative experiences related to this. So a common positive one is probably a friend that you've had or a family member that just being in their presence, you leave those interactions feeling really good. Maybe you attribute it to the conversation, or just some loving words that were exchanged, but often there's an energy exchange. Sometimes folks are really developed spiritually and intuitively, and their whole energy vibrates at a higher level. They just resonate love, and being in their presence alone can raise your own energy level. And sometimes, especially those in healing roles, will gift their energy to another. So if someone's maybe feeling in a low spot, and they're connecting with someone like this, they might leave actually feeling better, not only emotionally, but they might actually notice they have actually more energy. So it's a pretty common occurrence, but we also have the opposite. There are folks that we might interact with that when we leave those exchanges feel really tired, sometimes irritable and drained. Again, a similar response can happen. If someone is really in a low emotional state, they're vibrating low, energetically they're low. That can actually influence you and your own energy to lower. Or sometimes what can happen is people will take energy from others, not necessarily with conscious thought, but it feels like a drain. So almost everyone I know has had an encounter with someone where after they've interacted, they've left and just noticed lower energy. They might be irritable, they might just feel kind of bleh. They just feel it, like and they tend to avoid those people moving forward. So I just wanted to give some strategies on how to deal with these energy drains. I see a lot of times people referencing and labeling people. It's not my goal in this video. The drains can happen for different reasons, but we can find ways to kind of protect our energy level, especially when we need to interact repeatedly with people who might just kind of be in a lower state of being. So if you have found that there are people in your lives that have this impact, first I encourage you, if you're able to really limit your accessibility and your interaction with them. So this might be choosing to kind of fade away from relationships, if they're personal relationships. Maybe it will be limiting interactions or topics of interactions with people. But sometimes we have no choice and we have to interface with these people, especially like in a work environment, day after day. So that being said, if you're finding that you aren't able to kind of fade away from someone who has this impact on you, you can do things to kind of protect yourself. One thing you can do, and these are recommendations that I've kind of accumulated through years, is if you're in like an enclosed space, if you're like at work and you're in an office or you're in a conference room, one thing you can do actually is just put your energy in the corners of the room. Like, just look at the corners and just imagine your energy in those different corners. It's kind of a way to, it's not assert dominance, but it's to express your energy and just kind of create a presence. It's not dominating, it's not meant to be intimidating or anything like that, but it's just sort of I'm here and I'm anchored in this physical space. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is imagine some sort of invisible shield between you and another person. This could be an actual like transparent shield. It could be a bubble around you. It could be any sort of barrier where you feel like their energy will hit that and not you. So it just kind of creates this safe space around you and just sort of this protection around you. And if you do that, set the intent that this is for self-protection. Set the intent that the other person's energy is not going to permeate this shield or this wall or whatever it is that you've constructed. It will stay on the other side. And that's one way to keep your energy here and theirs there and not limit the exchange. One thing I often will do is if someone is sort of an energy drain, they're often seeking healing. So I will visualize violet or pink light around their physicality and just offer up that in the hopes that that might help them to feel better and limit their attempts to take from me. And that can be really helpful strategy as well, is give them the love and the healing that they're often seeking. So those are just 3 strategies in the moment that you can execute to try to limit the exchange process. Another technique or another focus is to ground. So nature is a really great way to ground. If you're not outside or can't be outside, sometimes just having like potted plants that you can actually just even touch or put your hand in the dirt, sitting or position yourself so you can see outside out a window, be in the sunlight, all those things can be really helpful in grounding out some of that negative emotion and just kind of bolstering your strength. So if you find that you've tried that, you've practiced that, and it's still not helpful, sometimes you have to do more reactive strategies, which is to really look at ways to refill after an experience. Again, nature is a great way to do it. A cleansing of energy can be really helpful, whether you go and take a shower or a hot bath. It could be sitting in sunlight. It could be visualization techniques, meditation, to just kind of bring in light and healing into your body and just wash away any sort of negative resonance that you're feeling from that exchange and recharge. So those are just some really basic level strategies. I hope you found that helpful. There's lots of different things you can do. I encourage you to do what you find is best for you and what resonates with you. Try and practice different things. You'll find what seems to be the best fit for you and go with that. Everybody's built differently, and so the tools that you use will likely look different from others. So I thank you for your time, and I wish you the greatest of days.